Hello, guys. Welcome to my first episode of my podcast. I've always wanted to start a podcast for a while, so I might as well do it when I'm fucking bored. Okay, it's summertime. There's literally nothing to fucking do. I don't have a job. I'm unemployed. So yeah. Hopefully, this will be a safe space for me, but a comfort place for y'all. I don't fucking know. Anyways, basically how the podcast is gonna run down is I'm probably gonna yap for like the first 10 minutes. I don't know how long I want each episode to be, but there's usually a theme every single episode. I don't know how frequently I'm gonna upload, but hopefully you guys like to hear me yap enough to stick around. But anyways, today is a beautiful sunny day and I chose not to go outside because one, I had no friends, two, all my friends graduated, and three, I don't know. But anyways, today's topic is about Pride Month. But before we get into the topic, let's talk about my day, okay? Today is beautiful. Okay, I need to relax. Today I woke up at 10 a.m. Okay. Usually I wake up pretty late during the summer, I can't lie, but probably a little earlier than most of you guys. So for me, 10 a.m. is like late, but I know for some of y'all that might still be early, but whatever. But it is officially Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, guys. As you can see, I am very prideful today. Just kidding. I don't know. Whatever. But I am a proud T girl. I am proud to be part of the LGBTQ community sometimes. But yes. Today I woke up, I ate my beautiful Allison plate today. I had some salad, I had a little jammy egg, a little seasoned tomato and lettuce, and a chicken apple sausage, and I was good to go. I was set. I had my matcha over there. I should bring my matcha right here, but I'm afraid it's gonna spill on my bed, so let's not do that. Also, I have no idea how I look in the viewfinder right now. I hope my setup looks good. Guys, this is my first time doing a fucking podcast, okay? So bear fucking with me, okay? Oh, I should not swear so much. But whatever. But we're currently on my bed. My room looks very janky and disgusting right now, and I'm literally using my phone as a microphone because my other like studio mic situation, I don't know where the fucking aux cord for it is to plug into my camera, so I'ma just have to stitch the audio fucking together. So yeah. But anyways, that's all that's been going on with me today. Lately, I just been feeling very down in the dumps because I have nothing to do, and also I'm just not in the right mindset or the creative space to be creating content. So I feel like if I force myself to do stuff like this, it would be a lot easier for me to have a creative outlet and also find things to do every single day. Cause like I said, I'm unemployed. Mind you, I've been trying to find jobs. I've applied to at least 5 different fucking jobs throughout the summer and nobody has said anything back to me. So, yeah, guess we gotta do what we gotta do, girlies. But yeah, also, I don't have a name for the fucking podcast yet. So if one of you creative people are out there, I don't know, tie in my name somehow, or I don't know, think about something that resonates with me because I literally have no idea. So yeah. But anyways, let's get on to the topic of today's video, which is Pride. As you guys know, it is June, which is Pride Month. Yay! So I thought it'd be very fitting to talk about Pride Month on this first episode. And it also kind of dive into me and my identity, which I don't really share about like out in the open to people. Sometimes I find it more uncomfortable when I'm face to face with somebody talking about like touchy subjects like this, or at least like subjects about my identity. So yeah, I think this is more of a calming environment for me to talk about this subject. But I wanted to first off there's literally gonna be no cuts in this. So if I fumble some words, I'm so sorry. Like, this is just free floating whatever's in up here. And I can tell you right now, baby, there's not a lot. So, but let's first talk about my transition journey. So as of this episode comes out, it's been a couple weeks since my anniversary of starting hormones for 1 year. So, yay, congratulations to me. I never thought that, like, if you told me before I started college that I was gonna transition, I think you would be fucking lying, because for a while I did feel like I was happy with the way I looked and I was more of like a femboy presenting person. But now, being who I am, like, I've never been so like happier in my entire life with the decision I made to transition, and I do not regret it at all. Obviously, the beginning process is really scary. Like, I had to do a lot of paperwork, I had to do a lot of blood work to make sure that my body was able to take in all the hormones and estrogen and stuff like that. And I'm so glad that I am at where I'm at right now. Obviously, I don't really see the differences in my face or my skin. Obviously, I see it in like some physical appearances, like my hair is obviously longer and my body is a lot more slimmer and I'm less susceptible to acne. So that's what I have noticed personally. I do notice that I gain weight a lot more easily and I feel a lot bloated more easily, and my breast tissue is, sorry to be TMI, my breast tissue is very sensitive and it's big. Like, my boobies are getting big. They're not that big. They at least fill up an A cup, but I'm kind of happy with the size I have right now. So, yeah. But it's been a year and I'm really happy. At the beginning, I really was afraid to tell my parents. I did not tell my parents at all that I was actually transitioning. I just like went to the hospital one day and just started it. But I slowly told my mom later, and she wasn't angry. Obviously, my mom is very upset. Obviously, my mom is a very accepting person. Because I've had to come out to her twice, okay? First as gay and then second as a T-girl. So, but I think she kind of like already knew, so she didn't really care kind of thing. Like, my mom has always been accepting, like, each time I came out to her. So, yeah, I think what really made her afraid or was hesitant for me to transition was because I do have a lot of health conditions that might interfere with my medicine or how I change, I guess. Like, I definitely get a lot of mood swings when I'm on medication, or my abdomen like has a lot of issues as well, like digestive, because I just had a lot of like food poisoning growing up, and also just like different stomach pains. I low-key think like I have an underlying stomach ulcer, but we're not gonna get into that right now. But yeah, otherwise, my dad, he doesn't really know about it. Like, obviously my dad sees me, he FaceTimes me, but he doesn't ask. I think one thing that has always stuck with me and I've never questioned since was, my dad was like, if you can do whatever you want, just as long as you're not hurting anybody. And that's just kind of what I always think when I make my decisions, when it comes to my dad. So yeah, it's never been an issue for me. I also have my notebook right here, guys, so that's why I keep looking down. But yeah. Second topic is, when did I know? So obviously, like I said, I came out twice, and I knew the first time just from an early age. Like, I used to watch anime and listen to K-pop with my cousins all the time. And I would listen to boy groups and I would be like, oh, I like this guy, that guy. Like, I want to be with him, not like I want to be him. And I used to listen to a lot of girl groups, and I wanted to dance the girl group songs more than the boy group songs. So that was just like a big indication. And I would dress up all the time when I was little. I was low-key a fucking nerd, like fucking like that kind of nerd, like ew. So I like would cosplay or cross dress a lot, like as a girl. So I guess that's where like the transition or like the transgender aspect came. But I guess I didn't really know at the time. When I was younger, I was very naive about LGBTQ and also like anything other than like gay and lesbian. I didn't even know that there was more until like I guess I got into high school and college. So, yeah, I was just very closeted as a child. Like, I didn't know any of that stuff. But my family was very accepting. I never had a problem with coming out, at least to my dad. He was very hesitant at first. Like I said, he just didn't want me to get hurt by society or hurt other people. So that was his only reasoning, but he came around to it. So I'm just very grateful that I got the luckier end of the stick of the situation. So, yeah. Is my mic still recording? Oh, it is. Okay. But I first knew, I guess, to bleh. This is what I mean. Like I can't cut anything. Y'all just gonna hear whatever I have to say. Like maybe sometimes I'm gonna let something slip and then I'm gonna get canceled the next day. Like holy shit. But whatever. I obviously like I didn't really have to come out being gay or like I always knew I was fucking gay. So that was just fucking easy. But the transition part was a lot different. I think it was my first semester in college where I was just like really confused about my identity because I hung out with a lot of women and obviously when you're in college you kind of just like are exposed to a lot of things. Like you're exposed to a wide variety of people coming to one place and it's just like a big melting pot of culture and diversity, which I'm so thankful that the university that I am attending is like pretty open about that. So I didn't have to worry about that, but I know times are changing and times are very tough, especially for college institutions and stuff like that. So I'm not going to get into that, but at the time, everything was fine. And I think that's when I really had the time to sit down with myself and kind of think what I wanted to look like and how I wanted to appear. And I just felt more comfortable being in a feminine state. I would wear makeup to class all the time. I didn't really feel different, I guess. Like, there's definitely people like me out on the street already, and I was like, if they can do it, I can do it too, kind of thing. And that's when I kind of like became true with myself when I had the time to really sit and think about, am I happy in my body and who I am as a person? And it just slowly came naturally to me. I started growing my hair out. I started doing my makeup more like the Douyin K-pop kind of look and less towards like the K-pop male, I guess, look, and my makeup just started progressively getting more feminine, and I just liked the way I appeared in that. I also struggled for a very long time with being in men's clothing. Like, I just was so unhappy trying to look for clothes to wear, if that makes any sense. Like, I would go to H&M and stuff like that and Target and look for different clothes to wear, but I would just be so picky. Do you know what I mean? And it was so hard for me to step out of the house and be confident in whatever I was wearing. Whereas now I feel like whatever I put on, like, adds to my confidence. Like, it makes me feel so happy that I can just step out and have a fucking crop top on and wear a fucking mini skirt, okay? I have my fairy wand poking out. I don't give a fuck, okay? But yeah, that's when I kind of knew was like the first semester, and then I started like really getting into it the beginning of my junior year. I think that's when I started transitioning. But I kind of knew early on, like in college. I just like didn't know how to start. I guess for a while I kind of went through the transitioning without doing any of the medicinal stuff. Like I started doing my hair, I started doing my makeup. Like it's all those little things that eventually add up to make me feel confident in who I am today. And I'm so glad that I found a beautiful group of people that love and support me, and I feel very connected with them. So you guys know who you are. I love you guys so much. So without you, I wouldn't feel safe, if that makes any sense. So I'm really grateful for everybody that has entered my life right now, and I'm truly blessed to be who I am today. So yeah, Thanks. Not to get sappy or anything, but eventually, probably I will get super sappy. So, yeah. Also, thank you to my beautiful partner as well. I never thought for a while I was capable of being in love because of just the way I appeared. I thought it was harder for me. And let's be real, if any of my friends are watching in my university right now, like, men ain't shit here. Like, y'all already know that. Like, I never was gonna look for somebody here, and I never expected anybody to like me here. So that's why I felt like I needed to find it somewhere else, and also find it through other people. Like, love does not just come from one person that is your significant other. It comes from everybody. And that's what I had to learn for myself. And during that time where I kind of was developing who I was, I learned who I wanted to be with, who I wanted my partner to kind of have the same ideas and morals as me. But also at the same time, I remembered that it's important to seek that comfort and love from the people around you. And for a while, that was enough for me. But I'm just so fortunate that my partner stumbled across my life, and I'm just so lucky to be with him every day. So, yeah. Not to get sappy or anything. Maybe we can talk about that a different day, like relationships, or maybe I can have my boyfriend on my podcast one day. I don't know. He's still a little camera shy, so let's no pressure, okay? Just a thought. But yeah. Speaking of the topic, I just wrote it down. See, this is why I need notes. Like, the ADHD just jumps out, guys. I'm so sorry. Speaking of relationships, I always like kind of felt that way where, yeah, like I said, being gay was kind of hard in order to find a relationship. Not that I was like actively seeking one. It was more so like it would be nice kind of thing. But I felt like the people around me, especially like the LGBTQ people I was hanging around the time, were very like stereotypical and also just like very beat into LGBTQ norms, like top and bottom, or like this and that kind of thing, or like a bottom should behave this way or a top should behave that way. And I honestly like didn't feel like that was necessary for the longest time, or I felt like I didn't really agree with that. Like, I felt like if you're in love, you're just in love. Like, those things just come naturally in any relationship you are. And to clarify, I'm not a hoe. Like, I may act like one, I may dress like one, but I am certainly not like, I don't sleep around, I don't do any of that stuff. I never did before I met my partner either. It just like was never fun to me. So in some way I kind of disagreed with that, and I like pushed myself out of those ideals and norms because I can tell how toxic it could become for a lot of people, and I didn't want it to affect me. So that to say, like, do whatever you want. Like, if you're in an LGBTQ relationship, or if you're gay or trans and you feel like you need to go back the trade every fucking day, or, you know, get some dick, like, I don't care. You know, that's your lifestyle. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to live. We all have different morals, and I will respect yours if you respect mine. And that's just period. So that's all I got to say about, you know, relationships, and being part of the LGBTQ community and trying to find a relationship. For those who are actively still seeking, it will happen. I know it's hard, but try to be optimistic and think out of the box when it comes to that stuff, and not feel like you need to use a dating app or chase. Like, girl, you attract, you don't chase. Don't forget that. So, and that just goes for anybody. So remember that, okay? But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about relationships in terms of that. I think there's more, but I'm kind of forgetting. Maybe I'll stumble across it later. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is, when was my first Pride, or what Pride means to me, and like the culture around it. I guess I kind of just dived into that already. Like I said, like how, you know, some people like to sleep around, this and that, but personally, it's not for me. So yeah, But I want to tell you guys about my first Pride story. Hopefully, I have enough time on my camera. Um, we'll see. My phone's still alive, so. But, anyways, my first Pride was here at my university, and I honestly never felt like I needed to go to one. Like, I have always been a prideful person on all my social media platforms, and I never like hidden that. Like when you see me, like I don't have to say anything. I feel like you already should know. Like I don't know if I'm clockable or not, or I look fish enough, fish, whatever. But yeah, I never felt like I needed to go to a pride parade. Not saying that like I don't support pride parades. I'm just saying like for me, it was kind of hard to go to one, I guess, because I live in the buttfuck middle of nowhere. So the fact that there was one happening at my university, I was like, oh, I should go check it out. And honestly, it was such a beautiful experience. It just felt like a normal day. Like, it's crazy how everybody in the fucking community just like gathered in one place, whether you are part of the community or not, or you're an ally. Like, everybody was just there to have fun. And I really love that. Of course, there's some like people on the street, but just gotta kill them with kindness and let them live their life. You can't force people that don't want to change for the better to assimilate to what we have. We just need to be happy with ourselves, our community. That's all that matters. So, yeah. My first Pride Parade was here, I think last year at my school, and it was just the best experience ever. I got to get little stickers, I got to see other people's journey, and also just like understand and see other people that were just like me, and it made me feel very like safe. Like, I am so happy that I went with this university instead of like maybe a university that was more traditional or centered around religion. I'm just very happy that there's so many people that support me, and I couldn't have asked for a better community or institution. So, yeah. Of course, now, like I said, everything is different. So, times are changing. That's all I had to say. Don't want to talk about it too much because I want this to be a safe space for everybody. But you guys already know what's going on, and support what needs to happen. Take action and donate to resources. Go to, protests. Do that thing. I want this to be a beautiful place for all of us. So, yes. But other than that, I think that's all I have for today's episode. I know it's pretty short. I'm at 23 minutes. I'm pretty sure my camera only has 30 minutes of storage left. So I don't want to ramble on for too long, guys. But again, this is my first episode. Please talk to me in the comment section. Let me know your feedback. Like, anything. Like, I love reading discussions. If you have anything negative to say, like, keep it to yourself. Like, I don't want to hear that bullshit because my self-esteem is like on the ground right now. So yeah. But that's all I have for today's podcast. Thank you for listening to me. Happy Pride Month. Thank you to everybody who is watching today, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. So yes, bye guys. Mwah.